Hey guys, welcome to Project Homestead. Today we are going to be getting ahead of tomorrow. What I mean by that, I'm just going to water my plants really quick. What I mean by that is yesterday I got a lot of things done so that when I go do my when I go do my bulk cooking day, I've already got these like tasks done that I can do now because I already have the ingredients to make whatever part of the meal I need to make. I didn't finish it yesterday, so I did a lot of it today as well. And it's just gonna save me so much time when I'm actually in the kitchen to do that really big day. Most of the tasks that I try to get out of the way before I get in there and do the bulk cooking are the things that I have to cook it in Instapot for a really long time, or the things that I have to leave overnight soaking, or the things that need to get out and be defrosted, or the things that, take a lot of like rise time, or you got to do a lot of kneading and there's lots of steps. I also try to get things out of the way that I already have the ingredients for. So for instance, I made tortillas, which you'll see later in the video. Because I had all the ingredients, it was something that I could just get out of the way. That is going to save me so much time on the day. This year, I'm trying to work smarter and not harder. I've always been a really hard worker, and I feel like sometimes I don't get anywhere because I'm just work, and I'm not as organized. So this year I'm really trying to get myself organized and be smarter about my time. Airplane. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the video and you guys can see the things that I got done beforehand so that when I jump in the kitchen and I'm doing that bulk cooking, it's more like a put the meals together situation instead of a long drawn out day. It's going to be a big day no matter what when I get in there to do the bulk cooking. But if I can lighten my burden at all the day or the days prior, I'm going to do that. All right, let's get into the kitchen. Okay, so I got up early to start on these tortillas. Look at these measuring cups, aren't they so cute? So I did a double batch of these tortillas because I need a lot of tortillas, and I think I actually might do another double batch, which isn't shown on this video, but what I am showing you here is a double batch. I will put the recipe that I used down in the comments. Sorry, not in the comments, in the description box below, so that you could go ahead and find this recipe yourself, because this is the best tortilla recipe I have ever tried. I actually came across the recipe when I was watching Becky from Acre Homestead. She found this recipe. It's not hers. She said it wasn't hers, but it's one that she found and she linked it. So I tried it, loved it. And when I say I do these tortillas all the time, I mean I do them all the time. They are so delicious. I'll link the recipe down below in the description box so that you guys can get a hold of the recipe and give the creator the recognition that they deserve, because these are delicious and I love them. So I wanted to get these tortillas started because they are definitely a labor of love and they take a lot of time. And these tasks that take time, they're not hard, but they take time. So if I have the ingredients for a recipe, I'm going to go ahead and get that done on the day before or 2 days before. These tortillas I could have even done like last week because I'm just going to pop them in the freezer. So it doesn't really matter when, but for the sake of this video, I waited to do the tortillas so you guys could see that, I'm getting in the kitchen early and I'm trying to do whatever I possibly can to lighten the load on the day where I'm getting in the kitchen and I'm making a lot of freezer meals.
Mom,
Yeah.
I have a quality card. Look, let me just skip here. Let's see where it's still here. Wait, I have another card value of it, like the background of it, the different color and the card.
I just want to point out the beans here. These are kidney beans, which I'm sure you guys can all tell they're kidney beans. And these are pinto beans. So I'm using a lot more pinto beans. And the reason I put the kidney beans in there is because I want to use them up. My family doesn't really like them, but I don't want to just throw them out. I'm going to be making refried beans. And so I figure I can kind of disguise the kidney beans inside of the refried beans. I was showing you there on my fingers how much space is in those bowls because later those beans are going to expand quite a lot, and I want to make a ton of beans because I'm going to use them in quite a lot of things. So again, like I said earlier, making tortillas is just a time, it's a labor of love. It just takes a lot of time, and so instead of spending this time on the day, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make them now. Now, you could buy your own tortillas, but the money that you save making your own tortillas is quite a lot when you think about it. You get about 8 over here in Australia anyways, in Western Australia. You get about 8 tortillas and it's anywhere between $4 and $6. So if you're getting a bag of tortillas and it's $6, you're almost spending $1 per tortillas. When I made these tortillas and they were finished, I had 40 tortillas and I added up roughly kind of did an estimate, and I had only spent $3 on all 40 of those tortillas. So when you think about the money that you're saving when you actually get in there and do it on your own, plus homemade tortillas always taste better, it's just, to me, so worth it. So I want to make sure that I'm getting in there, that I'm doing this beforehand so that I don't go buy tortillas that I don't really love, and that I can also save money. Every dollar that you can save is a dollar that you can save. I mean, just think about that. Every dollar that you save, you can put that towards debt, and every dollar you put towards debt is one less dollar that you have in debt. I just love that. I caught a glimpse of myself in the camera and I was like, whoa, I am covered in flour. Do you guys think I should get an apron? I probably should get an apron. So again, I just want to show you how many tortillas we have here. This is so many tortillas. If I were to buy 40 tortillas, and let's just say they're $4 for a packet of 8, that's 50 cents per tortilla. That means I'm spending 20 bucks on tortillas. So I will have saved myself $15 on tortillas here. So I'm going to go ahead and start making the flour tortillas. You want to make sure that they bubble on the top side before you flip them over. I have oil in the pan there, which I ended up not using any more oil. So the first 2 tortillas were a bit oily, and then I decided I didn't like the oil, and so I stopped using it. I just want to show you here how I'm storing them. So I took this baking paper and I cut them into small little strips, big enough so that I could put my little tortilla on them. And then I just make the tortilla, I flip the tortilla, and then I take it and I put it on top of the baking paper, and then I get another piece of baking paper and I put that baking paper on top of that tortilla, and then I make another tortilla, and when this tortilla is done, then I will stick it on the baking paper and then fold the baking paper over and then stick a tortilla on top of that, and then just keep going with that pattern so that I can use the baking paper to, its fullest abilities. Another thing that I really, really love and I want to point out about getting in the kitchen and doing these tasks beforehand is that you aren't so stressed out on the day. So when I, in the past, would tell myself, I don't want to spend 2 or 3 days preparing for bulk freezer meals. I want to get in there and I just want to do all the shopping on that day. And then I want to come home and do all the cooking and the baking on that day. And then I'm just going to do one big day and be done. Honey, let me tell you, that hardly ever happens, if ever happens. So when you get in there early, you have this slower pace in the kitchen. It's not so stressful because you've only got a handful of things to do, and you can spend time with your family. One thing I really enjoyed about this was spending time with my son. We had such good conversation and it was just a really special time, and this was only because I slowed down, because I took that time, because I wasn't waiting for the day to go in there and try to tackle it all. We don't have to be superhuman human. We just have to be human. And that's kind of a beautiful thing, just to slow down and to take your time. So we ended up with 40 tortillas, as I said. So what I did is I left them out, and as you see me fanning them there, I did that quite a lot just to kind of let the warm air release from the tortillas, and then I left them out on the counter until they were completely cool. And then once they are completely cool, so as you can see me fanning them out, I did that. I just came back every probably like 15 minutes and just fanned them a little bit. You want to make sure that your tortillas aren't moist. They haven't gotten condensation from the heat of the tortillas and being stacked on each other. So make sure they're nice and dry before you put them into the plastic bag, or else they get all kind of weird. They get like, I don't know, the texture just gets weird. So trust me on that one. Make sure that they stay nice and dry before you put them into the bag. And there we have it. We have 40 tortillas. And this is going to save me so much time on the day. It's so worth it. Just topping the beans up with some water just to make sure that they have nice, good filtered water to soak in. And I'm telling you guys, this was such a huge time save. I am so grateful that I went ahead and I got this all done. I just popped the tortillas into the freezer, and then we are on to the next day. So I checked the beans and I got them out, and they expanded to pretty much fill up this entire huge bowl. There's Coco. She's always at my feet. Whenever I am in the kitchen at the sink, she is always at my feet. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse these beans, and then I'm going to soak them again in water for the rest of the day. I find that soaking beans for 24 hours helps my family to not get gas and bloating from beans. So I go ahead, I soak them for 12 hours, then I dump them out, and then I rinse them, and then I soak them again for another 12 hours. And this really helps with any gas, discomfort, pain in your stomach that you may get from eating beans. I have to wash them in 2 different batches because it's a lot of beans. You guys saw how many beans we are using. We've got a lot of different meals with beans, and I also like to just have refried beans in my freezer because I can pull that out and make so many different meals. So it's just a nice thing to have on hand. Another thing that I wanted to get started was these frozen chickens. I want to go ahead and I want to try and cook them and take the meat off of them, and then also make them into chicken stock. So that's going to be a really big project. Again, I'm just adding more water to the beans because this is a lot of beans. Sorry, Coco. Sorry, Coco. Sorry. My plan wasn't to completely defrost the chicken. I just wanted to defrost them enough so that the wrappers would come off and I could get that little pad off as well. These chickens are really small, and so I was able to get them both inside of the Instapot. And so what I did was I put them in the Instapot, and then I washed thoroughly the sink and I washed my hands. I like to get soap on my hands and then soap on the soap dispenser as well, and then washed that off after I washed my hands. And then I just clean up the sink really well, and I use the hottest water that I can possibly use. So what I did after I cleaned the sink and got that finished is I put the chicken in the Instapot, and then I used some onion powder, garlic powder, and some water, and then I set that to cook for 6 hours. I noticed my pants were completely wet from washing dishes, and it looked like I peed myself. I really need to get an apron. Anyways, that was me just putting the beans back that I'm soaking back into the refrigerator. And then I went and checked the chicken a bit earlier because I could smell it all through the house. And let's just say it was done. I checked it with a fork, but when I tried getting it out, it just fell apart. So I went ahead and I took the chicken out, and then I just deboned it. And then I put the bones and the skin and everything back into the Instapot and just kept the chicken out. And then I also put in some carrots that I had frozen already in my deep freezer. And then I also put in some carrot tops. I've never done carrot tops in my stock before, so I'm not sure how that's going to be, but stuck those in. And then I also used some onions, and I chopped up 2 onions and put the skin and everything in there as well. And then I set the Instapot to go for 10 hours so that it could just slow cook and I could get the best bone broth that I could possibly get. Coco, what are you doing? What are you doing? I just wanted to show you guys. I was coming out to water the tomatoes, and it looks like we have our first ripe pineapple tomato. It's pretty squishy. It's green right here though. It's odd. It's very green right there. I find that interesting. If you see over there, I don't know if you can see that right there, but there's another one there and another one ripening right there. Couple patios are ripening. We've got quite a few zebras starting. Oh, that's ripe. That's ripe. I believe this one is ripe right here too. Yes, it is. 2 ripe zebras. Those are almost ripe. I'd say the patios. I'm going to see if this guy wants to come off. Oh, he came right off. What else we got? Stick these in there, and we will pick this guy, drop them in there, and then we'll keep looking at our other tomatoes to see what else we've got. Ooh, got an ice that looks like it's ripe. Oh, that's not quite coming, so we're gonna leave the ice. We've got our first heirloom. This feels like it's ready to, it feels very soft. It didn't want to come off, but that's soft, so I pulled it. This one's ready. Looks like we've got another one there. How exciting! How exciting! This is what these tomatoes are. They don't look quite like that, but take that one. Cool. Is this one right? That was right. Look how cool this. Look how cool that one is right there. Let me just try to zoom in. Do you see that one? Looks like a pumpkin. Wow. Wow, guys, check it out. Oh, I didn't notice this guy right here is ready. I'm gonna take in my tomatoes. How good is that? That is just the most satisfying feeling ever. Wow. I'm really grateful. Feeling very grateful. Let's go over and check my my ground cherry. I really want this to grow. I don't think those potatoes are gonna do anything. I mean, I don't see anything sprouting. I think I might just have rotten potatoes in there. This is a very impromptu garden tour. Looks like our ground cherry is doing okay. You can water it. I've been watering it every day. I think I'm gonna buy some mulch and mulch it. It is 9:30 at night, and I just finished editing. Well, clearly I haven't finished editing this video, but I just wanted to come check on this broth that we're making. It's 9:30 at night. Guys, I think this broth, I don't know. Do I leave it for the whole night, for the rest of the 4 hours? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, it'll be like 2 o'clock. It's like another 4.5 hours. I think I'm just gonna top this up with water and keep slow cooking it. I think in the morning what I'm gonna do, no, I know this is what I'm gonna do, I've been thinking about it. I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to strain my broth, get that put aside, get the beans from the refrigerator, my first batch of the beans from the refrigerator into the Instapot, clean the kitchen and get myself prepared because I have learned my lesson. You do not go bulk food shopping with a messy kitchen. It's not that messy. It's not gonna take that much time to clean it. I just don't have the energy tonight to do that. So I'm not going to. So I'm hoping to get the beans done before I go do the bulk food shopping and get them made into refried beans. So you'll see all of that on the next video because I'm going to video it all. Tomorrow I might not actually do my bulk food shopping because I was looking at my last few months of food bills and they've been going up and they've been sporadic. Whereas in the past, my food spending has been almost like a bill, like a bill that you can rely on. Like I know what my mortgage is going to be every single month, so it's something that I can know how much I'm going to be putting towards the mortgage. And I spoke in a previous video about how I went and price checked all the different ingredients that I would need for my different recipes, all the different ingredients and things that I would need throughout the month, and then I knew what store I could get those at the cheapest price. Well, enter inflation. Things have been going up, prices have been changing, so to my dread, to my absolute dread, I have decided that I'm going to do it all over again. I'm going to go to the different shops. I'm going to price compare. I'm going to compare the different prices, like butter at all the different stores, cheese at all the different stores, broccoli at all the different stores, chicken at all the different stores, etc., so that I can get the best price possible, because that's what you have to do. And I don't want to. I remember when I first did that, how much I disliked it. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. All right, so we have filled our Instapot right up. And she's going. She's cooking. Tomorrow we are going to probably do a video on price matching the different ingredients and get myself a master list, because I don't feel fully prepared to do the shopping that I need to do. And I don't like to do any shopping unless I'm really prepared to do it. So I want to have a list so that I am making my money work for me. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go finish editing this video. I'm gonna get to bed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. See you. Bye. See you. Bye. See you. Bye. See you guys.